differentiate from the other teams. And we had a lot. It was a good time.
Does anybody bring their pets with them for good luck?
No.
Too noisy for their little ears.
No, true enough.
Establishment.
And if the bowling didn't get them, the crowd would.
Yeah, exactly.
So how many people can fit in the facility for the dance?
Actually, it's a 500-person venue, but with tables, comfortably 350.
Oh, that's good. That's great.
I'm very excited. It's going to be my first event in that venue, so I'm very excited about it.
Excellent.
And in terms of the bowling, Heather, the last year's event we had 5 teams or 6. This year I think we're at 10 now, and they can hold as many as 14.
Awesome.
So we have 4 or 5 teams left.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to be signing up for the teams, and I definitely am going to Woodstock.
Awesome.
Nice.
Thank you so much for being with me tonight, and
thanks for
thank you,
having
Lily,
us.
for being such a good puppy.
Isn't she good?
She is amazing.
She rescued us.
Oh, she sure did. She took my heart, too. Well, thank you
Thanks
very
for
much
having
for tuning in. Stay tuned for my next guest. Will be coming up right after this short, brief message. Thank you.
Support your local charities and win great prizes by playing bingo on Rogers TV.
For Sir George Etienne Cartier, the work of uniting Canada was as vast as the country itself. First, he won over Quebec.
Union is the only way forward.
No, Monsieur Cartier. Confederation will cost French Canadians their nationality.
Monsieur, together we will form a political nationality independent of our origins.
Diversity will be Canada's strength.
Then he fought for Manitoba.
The Northwest has formed a government under Louis Riel. We will not join Confederation unless our rights are respected.
So you want a new province? Then you'll have it. There will be a place for your people in Canada.
He envisioned a country from Atlantic to Pacific.
British Columbia won't even think of joining Canada without a wagon road through the Rockies.
Ask for a railway. We are building a country, after all.
Bold as a lion, Confederation could not have happened but for him. Du Canada, son pays, ses amours.
I'm trapping my father in our house. Please send help.
This is a Category 5 hurricane warning.
Dad, what do we do?
Is this an Uber?
Get angry!
Stop that! Why are you laughing?
Own it!
This is a leaf!
You got shot in the leg.
More than half of tips reported through the Crime Stoppers program are now reported online. Information about unsolved crimes, local advisories, and how to report tips anonymously can be found at www.crimenb.ca.
Thank you so much for staying tuned with my second guest. I have Adam Britton here to talk about Uptown Sparkles. Hi, Adam.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, good. So thank you very much for being here this evening.
Well, my pleasure.
And so you're with the Uptown?
I am. I'm with Uptown St. John.
Okay. And Uptown Sparkles?
So Uptown Sparkles is actually being transitioned into a 3-day event this year.
Wow.
Which we're really excited about. So we are taking it from the 1 day on Friday and introducing both a night market on Thursday and adding the Saturday shopping day.
Okay.
So the Thursday night is actually going to have both ice and fire. We're going to have a warming station, and there's going to be a live ice carving of a seat and sparkle, and the market itself is actually going to be open. So vendors will be there. There's going to be wine, beer, everything.
Nice.
And then Saturday is going to be a day for the retail.
Okay. So for people that may be just tuning in, what is Uptown Sparkles?
Uptown Sparkles is basically just an event that we hold every year that have people come uptown, they get to see the lights, they get to be uptown in this nice snowy,
hopefully snow.
Yeah, hopefully snow.
Just for
a
that day,
Christmas theme event, and it's good to get people uptown, bring in business, and just get it activated.
Now, I've attended an Uptown Sparkles previously.
Yep.
And I think there was a trolley with horses. There was, all the shops were,
Yep.
the doors were open.
Yep.
Music was playing, hot chocolate. Every time I went to a new shop, there was either something to eat, something to drink, and people laughing and having a great time. It was almost like an Uptown party.
And that's what we're hoping to maintain. The horses are going to be there again, so they're going to be there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. There's going to be carolers out and about, sorry. It's just going to be a good time. Everybody's able to come uptown, do some shopping, go and get a drink somewhere, maybe eat some food. They can go to the market and shop in stores that aren't necessarily open on those days or that time. A big reason for us wanting to change this and make it a 3-day event is to allow more people to come.
Yes.
With it only being on the Friday night, if somebody's working late or doing something, they might not be able to make it, and now everybody's able to make it.
Exactly. I still feel that it will be as elaborate and as exciting as it was previously.
I
really
really
feel
think
that.
so.
Yeah.
I think everybody will think it's the exact same thing, just with a little extra to it.
Yeah. Now, how far does Uptown Sparkles go? Can you give me an idea of, like, geographically?
So I know last year Uptown Sparkles attracted 40,000 people.
Oh my gosh, for the one night?
Yeah.
In
yeah,
Uptown St.
yeah.
John?
And
Wow.
Retailers were happy with it, but they were almost feeling as if they weren't able to serve everybody that
Right.
one night. So we're hoping that this will both give them a chance to get all of those people and maybe attract some more people that weren't able to come in past years.
True enough. Yeah, especially where it is that
Yeah.
3-day. What time does it start in the evening?
So it's 5 p.m. to about 9-10 p.m.
Okay.
Both Thursday and Friday, sorry. And then the Saturday is a midday type sort deal.
Okay, okay. Is there anything special that you know of that might be happening that, like within the 3 days? Is it going to be duplicated or is it slightly different?
So it
day
is
to
going to
day?
be slightly different. The night market for Thursday. So a lot of the vendors in the market itself will be open. We're going to try to activate that area, these ice sculpting, everything like that. There's going to be a wine vendor there. Dunham's Run from up in
from
Kingston is coming. And
I'm trying to get him on the show.
yes. So he's actually coming and serving wine. And then I'm sure we'll have pickeroons there serving beer as always. Just trying to activate these spaces like South Market Street, just being able to bring people into those places, have stuff for them to do, and go home happy.
Nice. Now, will there be people dressed up at all? Do you have any thoughts of having
That
the
I'm not
theater group?
100% sure. I know that with the carolers coming in, they'll be singing. I'm not 100% sure yet if they're in costume. Something we can look into, of course.
Yeah.
I'm not sure though.
I think the theater group one time, I'm not sure which group it was, but they were doing caroling and they were
Yeah,
dressed in like authentic,
Yeah.
I don't know if it was 1800s or early 1900 garb.
Oh, something around that time.
I hope that Uptown Sparkles is not, so have you certainly called off any snowstorms for that time?
I can't say yet. I hope not. That would put a bummer on things.
Is it? I remember one night, it was beautiful. Like the night wasn't really super cold.
Yep.
The streets were clear, somewhat. I think it snowed a little bit prior to, but not very much. And it just was a really nice way to, you see people passing.
Yep.
And it was really, really cool.
Yeah, so it's here's to hoping that the weather holds up again. It's early enough in December that probably not going to get too much snow, but again, who knows what could happen.
Sure. So are you the lead for the Uptown Sparkles?
So it's actually myself and Nancy Tissington who
Okay.
have been going at it. I'm fairly new with Uptown St. John, so I'm slowly learning the ropes and getting
Okay.
a hang of things.
Yeah.
And it's been a good experience. I'm learning lots and meeting lots of new people.
So are you from St. John originally?
I am. I went to St. Max here in St. John, then did 4 years down in Nova Scotia, and now I'm back working uptown.
Wow.
Yep.
So what drew you back to St. John?
Honestly, when I went away to university, there was, I hate to say it, not a whole lot going on. And then over the 4 years, and in the past in those 4 years, every year I came home, there was always something more and more and more.
Wow.
And I really noticed that. I got talking about it with people. And I personally love St. John itself. I always liked coming home, and what better opportunity to work with Uptown St. John and be a part of that spectacular growth.
Oh, yeah. Especially being a representee to the Uptown St. John
Yeah.
area, you'd be in tap with everything.
Yep.
Like literally, you'd have to
Yeah.
know everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So you are on the top. That's really interesting. I'm really glad that you explained that, because I know lots of people think, oh, well, once they go to school, they never come back. But that's not so.
Yeah, no, I find there's a lot of people I know actually that have gone away for school and end up coming back. I mean, there's no place like home.
Right.
You like where you grew up. I love where I grew up, and I'm always happy to come back, and I'm happy to call it home.
Absolutely. The vibrancy uptown, have you noticed the switch from years previous, or maybe just before you've left?
Yeah, I find it's a lot busier uptown now. I remember, well, when I was in high school, I wasn't participating as much as I would be now. Yeah, I feel like it's changed a lot. I feel like Uptown St. John is thriving.
Yeah.
There's tons of new businesses. There's stuff opening all the time, and it's remained busy. And
Oh my gosh, yes.
it's great.
One of my favorite spots is, I think it's the Pickeroons.
Yep.
You know, and I was shocked to even find out that, oh, you can bring your pet.
Yep.
I was like,
Yeah.
what? You can bring
There's
your
actually
dog?
there's actually a large amount of businesses uptown that are pet friendly. We actually have a list, and if you go and you're at a business and you see a sticker on the front, it'll actually tell you if they're pet friendly or not.
So what does the sticker, can you kind of describe what it
So
looks
I
like?
believe it's just a bone, and
Okay.
it just says Uptown St. John, pet friendly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so there's quite a few of them actually. You can go into retail stores, you can go into, not as many restaurants,
Of course,
obviously,
yeah.
but a lot of stores allow you to bring your pet in with you.
Well, one night I was up with some friends, and we went into the Pickeroons, and I knew it was pet friendly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I was shocked, but really happy to see it, because it shows that we're evolving. When I saw there was 3 or 4 dogs, 3 or 4, and they were all getting along.
Yep.
It was great.
Yeah.
What other events are happening in the Uptown area coming up?
So this Monday coming is actually Chop Chop.
Okay,
It's
Chop Chop Week.
it's the 10th year of Chop Chop, and it's coming quick.
Yeah. So are there reservations for?
Yeah,
Like, do you have to
so-
call to make reservations?
Yeah,
for
you
that?
need to call and make reservations, as this is a pretty popular week for people coming uptown to eat. You definitely want to call and make reservations early. You can check out the menus on our chopchoppsj.com. That'll give you a rundown of who's participating. We currently have 30 restaurants and businesses participating. And with that, they serve a Chop Chop plate for $12, a Chop Chop lunch, which is $15, a 2-course meal, and a 3-course meal Chop Chop dinner for $35.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah.
And what kind of restaurants is that? Is that including everybody uptown?
So
or-
it's actually a wide array. We have restaurants from East Coast Bistro, Italian by Night, to Vegelution and York Bistro in the Hilton. It really covers all kinds of different restaurants.
Excellent. So what's your favorite top restaurants uptown?
Honestly, I need to keep trying them. There's a lot of new restaurants here
Yes.
I haven't gotten around to trying, and I'm really looking forward to it this week, actually.
Excellent. I love the diversity of restaurants we have now.
Yeah, it's crazy
Yeah.
how varied it is now. I mean, you have Sushi, Italian, you have St. John Ale, like just tons of different types of food.
Yes, there's King Street, there's
Yep.
Egyptian.
Taste of Egypt.
Taste of Egypt,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And of course the Urban Deli, there's
Yep.
multiple restaurants.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. Do they look forward to the Chop Chop Week coming up? Like,
Yeah,
how do
I think
how do
the
they
re-
get involved?
I think the restaurants like to be participating in it just because it's kind of a time that Chop Chop draws in a large crowd of people to Uptown St. John. And for the people that are living in St. John, it's kind of a time where restaurants are serving different food than what they would normally serve. It's limited edition, it's special, it's fun to go to, especially with some of the more expensive restaurants. It makes them have a better price point, and it's a great way to get involved. It's a great way to diversify your food as well at the same time make a donation to a charity.
Yes, because the money that gets brought in through Chop Chop goes
Yeah.
to where?
So with every plate sold, $1 of that goes to Lunch Connection.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's expand on the Lunch Connection.
So Lunch Connection is a program here in St. John. They have currently served 53,500 meals to about 577 kids. And our total donation so far is just over 73,000.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. And is that in the rural area, uptown area?
Yeah, so it's a lot of St. John, South End. It's they provide lunch to a whole lot of people all over the city.
Wow, that's really excellent. And how long has Chop Chop been around now?
So this is its 10th year.
10th?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, I
yeah.
thought I thought it was like the
Started
fourth year.
in 2009.
Really?
Yeah, it's been around for quite some time now.
Oh my gosh, the 10th year.
Yep.
So this would be a big deal.
Yeah.
Now, they usually have those tent cards, but how do you know? I suppose you can go to your website.
Yep. So a big
yeah.
way that we want people to be able to just go onto our website, they can check our social media at Uptown St. John. They can check our Chop Chop page on Facebook, sorry.
Okay.
They can also check us out on Instagram, Chop Chop SJ. Really, we're out there on social media. We have a decent following. We like to promote our stuff. And end of the day, if they don't check social media, they can always go to our website itself, chopchopsj.com, and check the menus, check the participating restaurants. They can see how much we've contributed and get all their information they need.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being with me this evening.
No worries.
And I look forward to running into you in one of the restaurants.
For sure.
Thanks, Adam. And please stay tuned. I'll be coming up with my third guest right after this.
Whoa, I'm not driving. I'm way too stoned. How are you feeling, Veer?
Oh, since we had that talk, I'm not driving tonight at all.
What about you, Dave?
You only had a couple of drinks.
And only a couple of puffs.
I don't drink and drive. No way I'm getting behind the wheel when I smoked weed, too.
How are we getting home, then?
Oh, you can drive, Dave.
Come on, Dave.
Take one for the team, buddy.
Don't let weed and alcohol influence your decision to drive.
Yeah, I need a ride.
You killed my brother. Now it is my pleasure to kill you and your entire family.
Hold on, mate. It just got out of the joint, mate. Literally this morning.
Enjoy your vacation.
You have talents and skills. Mostly, though, you're a blank key. You have the potential to open many doors.
In Canada, there are 338 federal ridings, but on October 21st, your focus is on the local race. Get to know the candidates running to be your MP. Watch the local campaign on Rogers TV and online. And on election night, Rogers TV has comprehensive coverage of the local results. Rogers TV, your local focus on the federal election.
Did you know, since 1985, Crime Stoppers has helped solve close to 8,000 crimes in New Brunswick? Crime Stoppers, 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477 or www.crimenb.ca.
Thank you so much for staying tuned with me this evening on What Matters Most. I am your host, Heather Acker, and I'm with my third guest for tonight, and his name is Fred Horgan. Hi, Fred.
How you doing, Heather?
I'm going to tell everybody you're with the St. John Hall of Fame.
The St. John Sports Hall of Fame.
Sports Hall of Fame. Yes.
In fact, we're getting to the Greater St. John Sports Hall of Fame now.
Oh.
We're moving toward that.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So can you give me a little explanation about what is the St. John Sports Hall of Fame?
St. John Sports Hall of Fame, which is down in Harbor Station, on the walls of Harbor Station, it celebrates all of the sports heritage that is St. John. All of the fantastic people that have done very, very well and put us on the sports map. And it's a great place to visit.
It is, and I've actually seen those on the wall. They're pencil sketched, aren't
Correct.
they? Very nice.
Yeah.
So who could we find on your wall if we were to walk through Harbor Station area?
Well, me.
You're on, are
yeah,
you?
there's one. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what sport were you?
I knew I'd know one.
What sport were you?
Basketball.
Basketball.
I used to be
gosh.
very tall then.
Well, I think you're pretty tall.
Oh,
you're as
yeah,
tall as
right.
I am.
I'm sitting low.
Well, that's true. We are sitting. What else is up on the wall, Fred?
Well, that's it. That's all.
That's it? Just you?
It right now. Just,
oh, well, then we
no,
should...
we have all kinds of people. We have people that I taught with. Joe Breen's down there. Mary Ellen Driscoll's down there. The 5 or 6 people I'm going to mention to you here in a moment will be down there.
Excellent.
And when you walk through it, it's just it's a history.
Yeah, and what a perfect spot for it.
Yep.
Really, the
Excellent.
TD Center.
Excellent.
Yes. So what do you think about that? So they switched over from Harbour Station to TD.
Yeah.
But it's still the St. John, it didn't change you at all?
Still the same, no. Not
Okay,
at all, no.
great, great. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the people? Now, these are the ones coming in to
They're
the
going
Sports
in
Hall of
on
Fame?
November the 2nd. I'll give you a
Okay.
little information on that later on, too.
Sure.
We have 6 inductees this year. We had a tremendous group that were nominated, but you can't take everyone, you know. In no special order.
Okay.
I'm not showing any preference.
No problem.
No one's paying me off for this.
No problem, I won't do that.
The first one I have down is a boxer, Tom Young. Tom Young, in 1981, he was the Canadian Intermediate Boxing Champion.
Is that right?
And then, in 2 years later than that, he became the gold medal winner at the Canada Games in Lac-Saint-Jean, Quebec. Along the way, he's won 10 bronze medals at national competitions and another 10 at provincial competitions.
And that's incredible.
And he still was fighting, the last I heard, around 50 years of age.
Wow. Wow.
That's Tom. Susan Ellis Laparco. Susan comes from the Ellis family. Her father and mother were both on the wall of St. John Sports Hall of Fame.
Oh, interesting.
Sue was in track and field, and excuse me if I'm using my cheat sheet
That's
here,
okay.
but track and field and speed skating. She's going in as a builder. She's a tremendous, tremendous coach. She also was an official too, and a player. From 1986 to 89, she was the City of St. John Athletic Achievement Award winner. 2010, she won the Investors Group Achievement Award. 2013, the City of St. John Sports Volunteer of the Year Award. And she presently serves also as a NB Sports Hall of Fame Sports Ambassador. That's Susan. Frank Henderson is a wheelchair athlete. He not in basketball, which is my wheelchair type sport, but this is in track and field.
Oh
He's
my
in track and
gosh,
field.
okay.
Yeah. He played basketball from 1968. He still plays basketball. He had more than 50 participations in provincial and national, international competitions. And that included the 1976 Olympiad in Toronto.
My goodness.
Third one is he's deceased. His name is Albert Roach. He died in 2012, so it's a celebration of Albert's life too. He was also going in as a builder. He was an athlete, a boxing athlete, but his coaching was tremendous. He started off by coaching in the south end of St. John. Then he went on to coach the St. John Golden Gloves Club from 1965 to 1981. The NB Boxing Association from 1968 to 1991. Really a coach extraordinaire, and I think his what can I say it? His contribution wasn't what he did. The people that he coached won 30 championships.
Oh my goodness.
Over the years.
Wow.
Fourth one is Gilberto in harness racing. He was a driver from 1981 to 2018. He was a trainer from 1992 to 2018. Now get this for something. He drove in 19,401 races.
Oh my goodness.
And of those, he
wow.
won 4,441, came second in 3,435, and third in another 2,600.
He worked hard to get in that
He
Sports Hall of Fame.
certainly did. And for the people that owned the horses that he drove, the winning purses were $8.9 million.
Oh my gosh.
He won 4 Golden Cup and Saucer over in PEI, and he was twice the Atlantic Regional Driving Champion. Flood Brothers in rowing. Brian and his brother Henry, who died in 2012 or 2013, I'm sorry. They were inducted in 2017 into the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame. They were 6-time winners of the Renforth Cup, which means supremacy in rowing in the Maritimes. They won 3 gold and 2 silver and 3 bronze at national competitions, and won more than 60 gold medals in provincial ones.
Incredible.
These are our inductees this year. They're a fabulous bunch. They're all going to be celebrated on November the 2nd at the Lily Lake Pavilion. Tickets are still on sale, but hurry over there and get them if you want to get some. They are $65 for the meal, the whole evening, and a chance to shake hands with everybody. And for any inductees, previous inductees, ticket sale is $50 because we want to get them over there as much as we can. You can get the tickets either through Eventbrite or at the Parks and Recreation Building over on 171 Adelaide Street.
Wow, okay.
That's the crew.
Oh my gosh. Wow, so that's everybody that now, when is the celebration?
November 2.
November 2nd, and
Yeah.
how do people get, it's tickets, I'm
It's
assuming?
tickets, that's right, and to get the tickets either at through Eventbrite,
Okay.
or you can just go over to Adelaide Street, 171, the City of St. John Parks and Recreation Office, and they have them right there too.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So Fred, can you give me a story or two that you remember from the days?
From the Sports Hall of Fame
Let's
type
go with a
days?
good one.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure there's many.
There are so many of them because the people that we have in the St. John Sports Hall of Fame weren't just, they were great.
Yeah.
Really, really great. One story personally for me, and I won't name a name on this one, but when I lived one time down on Duke Street, there was this old man that lived next to me.
Yeah.
And he used to come over and talk when we were shoveling snow on the lake. And I found out later on that he was one of the first members of the Sports Hall of Fame, and he was an athlete from the 20s, tremendous man. I taught school with a gentleman named Joe Breen in baseball. Joe went in. I have, well, there's so many people, that you hate to mention one for fear you're going to feel bad later on because you didn't mention all the others.
Oh.
Yeah. But it's just wonderful. It's been fantastic for me. I love it. I've been chairing this selection committee now for a number of years, many years, I guess. And I went in myself, as I said, in 93, 94. And going back to these banquets, it's you shake hands with all your old friends. And,
oh, yeah.
And you get the chance to meet the people that you've heard about from your father and mother talking about them, too.
Yeah.
It's just great.
It's very special.
Yeah.
Do families, how do they present their, how does that happen?
Yeah, anyone can be nominated, of course.
Okay.
The nomination forms are available online on the City of St. John website, St. John Sports Hall of Fame. In effect, it's a matter of just summarizing the person's sports history, why they deserve to be there. You can fill these all in forms that are available, as I say, from the St. John Sports Hall of Fame. And then they're sent into to the selection committee. We presently have inductions every 2 years. Well, for a long while we had it every year, but it just got awfully tight.
Sure.
So every 2 years, we have a selection committee, and they are responsible for picking who goes in a given year. If someone does not go in a given year, his or her nomination, or their nomination in case of a team, his or her nomination is held over for the next three induction ceremonies. So they're available for being inducted in 3 successive
in categories?
ceremonies. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So how does the selection work for people? If say you've got 20 people that have submitted, what's the criteria or?
It's just what happens is we have 5 or 6 of us that sit down, and we have a big, thick binder, god awful heavy too, and we each of us take a week or 2 weeks to go through the binder and select people that we think are the most deserving.
Okay.
That way, we usually come up with 25 to 30 names that it's awful hard to put tissue papers between them because they're all worthy of it. And then we talk about all of them and why I like this one and that one and that one. And then we award points, depending on how many are your prime choice or your second or your third or fourth.
Sure.
And from that, we narrow it down to a maximum of 6. Okay. And that, when I say 6, that may not be 6 people because it could be a team involved.
Sure.
Somewhere. But a maximum of 6 new inductions, and we go from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they get presented, the family or themselves, get presented this beautiful drawing. Can you just
sure, yeah.
talk about that for a second?
Yeah, my daughter does those drawings now.
Your daughter does?
Yeah, she does them now.
Oh, my
gosh. She's been doing them for a while.
gosh.
We have one big one, and that goes down at Harbor Station And it's all behind glass and everything, so no one's going to steal it, although I hesitate to say that because once someone did. Anyway, but it's all behind glass, but there are second, like 8.5 by 11 or 12 ones
Yes.
that are duplicates of the originals. And every inductee gets that to take home with them, as well as a little gold pin, which shows you you're part of the St. John Sports Hall of Fame, and another little pin that it just is for the Hall of Fame per se.
Excellent. And why do you think it's important to continue this process?
Oh, we can never forget our sporting history. And for that reason, we can never forget our athletes and our coaches and our builders who did it. Because St. John it's there, you know, St. John, Fredericton, Moncton.
Yeah.
You know, this province has been fantastic. And we've got nothing to be ashamed of and everything in the world to be proud of.
Oh, that's fantastic. Right. Thank you so much. I appreciate so much you being here with us. I will say that to connect with the Sports Hall of Fame, to go to what website?
Just go to the City of St. John website.
City of St. John.
St. John Sports Hall of Fame.
And you'd be very surprised who's on there, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Especially some of the pictures, you don't know who it is.
That's true. A younger version, right?
Yes, exactly,
That's right.
exactly.
Thank you so much, Fred. I really appreciate your time, and keep doing what you do. It's awesome.
Thank you. You're
Thank
welcome.
you. And you at home, stay tuned. I will have my next guest up. Actually, there's two. So stay tuned to find out who they are right after this.
Wasn't easy growing up on Sargent Avenue. Bunch of Icelandic boys, nobody wanted around. But hockey was good to us.
We're signing up then, George. Only if Connie here joins up with us.
And the war came along. Broke up the team. But we were needed, and we went. It cost us. Too much, maybe. I don't know. But I do know one thing. We still got some fight left in us, right, boys? It's the game we've been saving it for. For us. For Canada. For the boys of Sargent Avenue.
The Winnipeg Falcons served Canada in the First World War. 2 teammates never made it home. The rest went on to win the very first gold medal in Olympic hockey.
As part of Rogers TV's local campaign coverage of the federal election, registered candidates can request a 2-minute candidate message to air on their local Rogers TV channel. Registered candidates can contact the station manager via rogerstv.com.
We got a mission.
That sounds like the bad guys teaming up. It's only just begun.
Whoa.
Do you have information about a crime that has occurred or is about to occur? This information can help solve crimes, and tipsters always remain anonymous. Crime Stoppers, 1-800-222-TIPS or www.crimenb.ca.
Thank you again for staying tuned. This is now my 4th episode. This is my 4th division of guests. And I have Chris and Michael here with me tonight, and they're going to tell you why they're here. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming and being on Rogers TV with What Matters Most. So, Michael and Chris, if you can tell us why you're here.
Well, I don't know. You asked us to come.
I knew you were going to do that.
So both Michael and I are systems planners for the Human Development Council. So we work specifically on ending homelessness.
Okay.
So for St. John, New Brunswick-wide, but we're obviously here to talk about St. John tonight.
Sure. So St. John is sort of your target, is it, with a team?
Yep. St. John, Moncton, and Fredericton are really the areas that we're working on. Yeah, but we're more specific on St. John, yes.
Excellent, excellent. And are you the builder?
Well, no, I don't have a lot of skills in building, unfortunately. So I guess our role in terms of systems planning is really designing a system and then kind of coordinating or facilitating progress toward that system as we see it functioning. And so for us, we are obviously specifically looking at homelessness. So shifting from the way that system currently works, which is not so much as a system as it is in silos of different agencies, and not necessarily incorporating public systems like health and justice and education. And so our role is really envisioning how that looks as one integrated system, how we can better serve people who are experiencing homelessness, and trying to push us more in that direction.
Right, right. So where do you start? How do you start this? Because it's so widespread. Really?
Yeah, and it's very different in all three of the major cities in New Brunswick, certainly. We start, really our job is convening the providers that are out there every day doing this work. So that's really the role that we play, is pull people together and ideally have a process where people are working as a team as opposed to individual agencies. So one of the things that we've been working a lot on in the city for this past year is something called a by names list, which is really, well, it's exactly what it sounds like, which is a list of folks experiencing homelessness by name, with as much data as we can collect and use to figure out so when an apartment becomes available, how do we know as a community who makes the most sense to move into that open unit?
Right.
So this process and this list allows us to prioritize people based on who's the most vulnerable today.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it's a big piece to get to where we're at now. And so, we're about 8 months, 8 months-ish into this process, and we've seen a lot of success, but there's a lot of work left to be done. We know on any given week we may have a couple apartments that become available that we can move people into, but as of when we left the office today, there were 162 actively homeless people in St. John.
Oh, that's tragic.
If we have 2 units, I'm not super good at math, but I know that we can't fit 162 people into 2 units.
No.
So, we have to figure out a way to figure out who is the best fit for that unit in that moment.
Of course, yes.
So it's a real-time list of folks experiencing homelessness that we can prioritize in real time. Yeah.
I think it's something definitely, and I was really pleased that you could attend this evening and express the importance of our community and taking responsibility and seeing what people could do. What can we do to help?
Yep.
We have to talk about these things in order to understand that they are issues and they're real issues, as they are in every other city.
Yep.
What's the numbers like? Are they pretty equal in the areas that your team is working?
Yep.
They are somewhat consistent. So prior to developing the by name list, we would typically focus on shelter use. That was kind of the most reliable data that we had. And often, as might not surprise people based on the kind of attention it gets in the media, Moncton does typically see higher rates of homelessness than St. John.
Right? Yeah.
We have often kind of guessed as to why that might be. I think they do tend to draw somewhat from the north of the province, and it's also seen as kind of a hub for the Maritimes. Sure. So typically, if we were to look at shelter use, they might see more than 700 unique individuals, whereas St. John last year saw 417. So wouldn't be quite half, but thereabouts. But I mean, in terms of the level of need, it's certainly quite prominent in each city that we work in. And it just tends to look a little bit different depending on where you are.
Right, right. So if somebody's watching this evening or seeing a repeat of the show, how can they get involved? How can somebody help you with finding an apartment that is they're wanting to get rid of, and said, when you said apartment, where would those be, and how does that come into play with this?
So we have really strong partners in social development, so New Brunswick Housing, and then we do have a couple landlords who we're working with that have really bought into this and value trying to help their community. So they've dedicated, one particular landlord has dedicated about 40 units
Is that
at this point, which is amazing.
That is.
So, but that's our gap right now is, we have programs to provide supports to people who need supports.
Sure.
But what we don't have is units. So, if we had more units, we would know who needs to move in first and when and how, and we could support them to be successful. Our job is not to just move people in, it's to have long-term success. So we can't get there until we get the unit.
Of course.
So that would be one. Another, we were really floored last year when we started this process that a company called Surplus Furniture donated full furniture for 15 units.
Oh my goodness.
Which is huge.
That is huge.
Yeah, and amazing. So the first, when we were moving folks in last winter, we were able to furnish those apartments with what folks needed. So, to be able to just start on day one in a new place with the things that you need was awesome.
Yeah.
So those types of things we need, because if you're experiencing homelessness and if you're staying at a shelter, you don't have, nobody's carrying around pots and pans with them. So we do need some things, but more importantly, we need a place to put those things, and more importantly, a place to put people.
Right.
And I think those partnerships that Chris talks about are so crucial to our success, and that really is the basis of this coordinated access approach that we're taking and developing the by name list and really trying to work across sectors and also bringing in the private sector. And so we've had a lot of success also with St. John Energy in terms of developing a partnership to eliminate utility deposits for some of these people that we're housing.
Sure.
And with respect to landlords, as Chris mentioned, social development has a program called the Rent Supplement Assistance Program.
Okay.
And so this is something that landlords can buy into, essentially, where social development will subsidize one or multiple units in a building, so that if I am the tenant, I would pay 30% of my income, and the rest is subsidized by social development. So it's a really great partnership. We would love to have more landlords taking part in that. And so if anyone is interested, they can reach out directly to NB Housing, or they can contact us at the Human Development Council.
Right, right. And that's really why I really wanted to bring you here.
Yep.
What is the need? What is the issue you're having right now that you need to fill?
Yep.
And it's you need to put people in houses or in housing development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did, we started towards the end of November last year with this process, which obviously started because the snow started falling earlier last winter. And what we were trying to do was to avoid opening an additional out-of-the-cold shelter, which is a huge undertaking and a huge expense.
Yes.
So we put our energies in St. John to coordinating, the providers and the agencies and piloting this process, and it worked. So we were able to avoid opening an additional shelter. We were able to keep people safe and house. I think over the winter we housed 45 individuals, which was huge. So we want to be able to keep that momentum going, and the best way to do that really is more units.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Now, do you have a drive out or a group that are searching for potential landlords or potential, do you have a program already staged? I know that you've talked about I'm looking at the ones that may be watching, or somebody might be watching this evening or another time and said, oh, well, my brother has a place, he doesn't watch TV, so this is how I can connect him.
Yeah.
So we have to look at all those opportunities.
Yeah, I would certainly encourage anyone to reach out directly to the Human Development Council.
Okay.
So there are a number of different agencies in St. John who do that type of work. But I think we are trying to streamline all of our efforts to be as efficient as we possibly can be. So I would encourage people, they can certainly reach out directly to NB Housing as well. But certainly if they reach out to the Human Development Council, we're happy to connect them to the right people.
Yep.
Excellent, excellent. Where do you want to see this go in 6 months to a year?
6 months to a year, we would like to just really continue this same process with some more wins that we can celebrate. Our goal in a few years is to end chronic homelessness in St. John.
That would be amazing.
Yep, that's the goal. We will do it.
You will do it.
Yeah.
I know that is doable.
You get out of our way. We're going to do it.
Yeah.
So That's the plan. This is the best way possible to get to that goal. It's not an immediate fix, but it is the best known way to achieve that goal. So, what did we say? 3 years? 5 years?
Yeah.
Ish.
Let's say 3.
3 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna say let's say 4 years. But that is so we're tracking things in a way that we can measure them and know if we're about to hit that goal. So we will.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I will suggest that the people that are watching for this evening, do contact you, reach out, and like you said about the furniture, never even thought about that.
Yep.
So contact if you're renovating or you're switching out stuff.
Yep.
Contact the Human Development Council because you guys can utilize a lot of that products and service. Thank you for being with me. Awesome.
Absolutely.
I would like to thank everyone at home for watching What Matters Most, and to thank the volunteers here at Rogers Studio. They're amazing, and thank you for being here every other week. And thank you to my guests, Chris and Mike and Frank and Adam, and to you at home. So keep smiling and tune in 2 weeks.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
When you become a Rogers volunteer, it's always an opportunity for everybody to come together and try different things that they've never been able to do before.
What I've learned here is different skills that I thought I would never even be interested in learning.
By being here at Rogers, I can learn all these different things that will help me be stronger.
Working here as a volunteer is a good way to get to know your community. It's a good way to learn how to work as a part of a team.
They're people from our community, so they know and they have a heart for our community to step outside of our comfort zone and do more.
Don't be afraid, because this is where you're going to gain the most valuable experience that you can use in your future.
I encourage everybody to be a volunteer at Rogers TV because not only do you grow professionally, you grow personally as well.
This is Rogers TV, New Brunswick.
Hey, did you know?
More than 4,500 Canadians are waiting for an organ transplant right now.
Right now. 4,500.
People are dying.
And you could save a life.
90% of Canadians say they're willing to donate their organs.
But only a few are registered.
So what are you waiting for?
Get registered.
It's easy and it's free.
Leave a legacy.
Be a hero.
Save a life.
Find out how to register today. Go to kidney.ca.
I'm Craig Eagles. I have the honor to showcase New Brunswick's finest